Hey guys, welcome to my first episode of my channel. Here we will be talking about all the UN recognized nations. Our first nation will be Afghanistan. So let's begin. Well, either from the news or from drama, you would have heard about the recent situations going on in Afghanistan. Well, you may find it hard to understand why dear Afghanistan is like this. And for this, I, your host Manvinder from the channel A Bit of Knowledge, is here with some cool facts on Afghanistan. Let us start with something that is easy to talk about and is a little less chaotic. Well, nothing easy has been found, so why not talk about its current name, that is the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. The meaning of the word Afghanistan is the land of the Afghans. Afghanistan is a country landlocked between Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan from the north, Iran from the west, and Pakistan from the south. And if you want to make the Indians happy, you can let it touch Afghanistan through the highly contested region of Kashmir. Well, the history of civilization in Afghanistan starts with the human arriving here 50,000 years ago. Civilization began here as early as 3000 BC near modern-day Kandahar. Some recent studies show that it was once the part of the Indus River Valley civilization. And from this point onwards, try to count the numerous kingdoms, empires and emirates that come and go. Also, don't forget to comment the total in the comment section down below. Later, the Achaemenids conquered much of modern-day Kandahar and it became the second homeland of the Zoroastrian faith. Later, our dear friend Alexander the Great took over Afghanistan for a brief period of time and then came the Seleucid Empire. In 305 BCE, Afghanistan came under the Indian Mauryan Empire, who controlled it till 185 BCE. After that, it became a part of the Indo-Scythian kingdom and then the Indo-Greeks. Afghanistan also gained prominence as it was present on the Silky Silk Road. During the 1st century BCE, the Parthians took over it but lost it to the vast Kushan Empire. During this time, the religion of Buddhism, whose seeds were sown by the Mauryans, flourished. From the Kushans, it went to the Qadarites, then to the Hephthalites, then to the Turkshahis, and then to the Hindu Shahi dynasties, and then finally to the Saffarids. Till now, the main religion was either Hinduism, Buddhism or Zoroastrianism. But now was the time of Islam, which was brought here by the Arabs in the 7th century. Islam became the dominant religion by the 11th century as Muhammad of Ghazni defeated the final remaining Hindu kings and hence effectively Islamized Afghanistan. Later, the Ghaznavids were overthrown by the Ghurids, who were also overthrown by the Mongol Empire, which continued to rule here in the form of El Khanate. Later, the Timurids, with their leader Timur, aka Timur the Lame, brought the Timurid Renaissance, whose glory matched the glory of Florence in Italy. In the 16th century, a man named Babur captured Kabul. He would later go on to conquer the Lodi dynasty in India and established the Mughal Empire. Later, the Hotakis took over, who were overthrown by Nadir Shah, the king of Persia. But things would change as his 16-year-old commander, Ahmad Shah Durrani or Abdali, who assisted him in his campaigns, will assassinate him. From Ahmad Shah started a long line of Durrani kings. After that, some skirmishes were common with the Sikhs, Marathas, Mughals, Iranians, and finally the British. The British, after some give and takes, took over the country in the form of a protectorate. During the First World War, Afghanistan was neutral. Later, Amir Amanullah declared full independence from the British so-called protection. After that, reforms were on a high pace, new things were happening, oil was found, money was flowing in, modernity was at its peak, and the last king is dead. Zahir Khan was deposed, not dead. New Prime Minister was not really that bad. I mean, he was an uncle of Zahir. Though he took over the nation and caused the whole chaos, but he kept the reforms intact. Later, after the Soviet invasion, the first non-royal prime minister was sworn in. And yes, Afghanistan again remained neutral in World War II as well. Talk about landlocked nations being neutral in world wars. After that, the things went downhill for Afghanistan, as there were many coups d'etats and revolutions and infighting and act of human rights violations in Afghanistan that would result in an economic stagnation. From this time, Afghanistan started bouncing on the political compass. After the post-Cold War, two civil wars happened in Afghanistan, leading to the deaths of many. In October of 2001, USA invaded Afghanistan. Things are very, very shady and dark regarding that period. But one thing is sure, that is the rise of a power called Taliban. In August 15, 2021, Taliban took over the nation, causing thousands to leave their homeland. Now, let us talk about Afghanistan's geography. Well, as Afghanistan is present in the crossroads of the Middle East, Central Asia, and South Asia, it mainly depends upon you to count it as a part of which group. Afghanistan is a large country, 41st to be precise, making it slightly bigger than France but smaller than Myanmar, nearly the size of Texas. It has 34 provinces, with its capital being Kabul, which is the largest city, as well as after Kabul, with Kandahar being the second largest and Mazar-e-Sharif being the third. Kabul also has Afghanistan's largest airport, Hamid Karzai International Airport. The country is mainly mountainous with some deserts and fertile regions sprinkled over here and there. The temperature can also vary very much, as in winters it can get to minus 15 degrees Celsius, and during summer the temperature can nearly be as high as 40 degrees. The country is very much rich in biodiversity, as it has more than 100 mammalian species like the snow leopard, brown bear, Marco Polo sheep, foxes, wolves, deers, etc. The country also has nearly 500 species of birds like flamingos, ducks, sandgrouse, swifts, cuckoos, lapwings, etc. Some Afghan national symbols include the national flag that contains a shahada in black on white field. Now I know this fact may be contradicting for many, but that is what the current flag is. The national anthem is the Afghani national anthem, also known as Milli Surud. The national motto is that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. The father of the nation is Ahmad Shah Durrani. Remember the old king? Yes, he is. National animal is the snow leopard, and the national bird is the golden eagle. Afghanistan also has a national dog, that is the Afghan hound. National flower is the tulip, and the national fruit is pomegranate. Talking about the demographics, the largest ethnic group present in Afghanistan are the Pashtuns, having a 42% share in the total population. Then comes the Tajiks with 27% share, and after them are the Hazara and the Uzbek people at 9% each. And then there are a mix of Turkmens, Baloch and other groups. The largest languages spoken are Pashto and Darai. They are also the official languages of Afghanistan. The majority religion is Islam at 99.7% and others at 0.3%. The population is nearly 40 million, making it the 37th largest nation population-wise. They use the Afghani as their currency, and they drive on the right side. And they also have the calling code of +93. The relations between Afghanistan and its neighbors have been very much on the shaky grounds due to the current situations. But still, as there are cross-border ethnic communities, this causes some movements across the border, may it be unwanted or wanted. The relationship between Afghanistan and the Western powers like the EU or NATO are also not very much in a good condition. The best relations that Afghanistan has is with other Muslim nations of the Middle East. Exports account for nearly 20% of the Afghan GDP. The main exports are carpets, rugs, then there are dried fruit exports, and then there are medicinal plants exports. There are also several small scale industries that produce textile, soap, furniture, shoes, and fertilizers. The ease of doing business in Afghanistan is not very high, and the reason you may know. Though the country is generally isolated, still there are many important sites like the Minaret of Jam, Bande Amir National Park, the National Museum of Afghanistan, Baba's Garden, and a ton of palaces and forts like this. Some notable people from Afghani descent are Ghulam Sadiq Wardak, Sima Samar, Josh Gath, and Leena Alam. Hence, with this, I have tried to give you an overview of this amazing country. As this is my first video, please share your thoughts over this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my video. Also, stay tuned for the next country, that is Albania.